Okay, this is a video I wasn't planning on making related to the Mount Vernon Industrial Development Agency. I was going to make it a three-part series of videos. I think it's going to be four now. This is a second video having to do with the impact that the two projects that I've been looking at, Qwest and 115 South McQuestion, could have on the school districts. New information has come in, and so I think it's important that I make this video as an update. So let me share my screen. I'm calling this Part 2A, estimating the number of students entering the Mount Vernon City Schools from new high-rise rental housing, incorporating school district estimates, which we now have. As a reminder, at the December 14th IDA meeting, the mayor pointed out that it's important that we are looking at trends that in communities that mirror ours. She also pointed out that lower income families tend to have more children. Ms. Storrs relied on this National Association of Home Builders study, or so she said. As it turns out, the multipliers she used were quite a bit lower than the estimates in the NAHB study. She also noted that she wished there was a study that had the demographic information similar to what the mayor was talking about. She noted that that study doesn't exist. Now we have something even better, which is actually we have data from the community. The comptroller pointed out that it's important the estimates are accurate and that the estimates from Ms. Storrs may be right or may be wrong. So let's take a look at the letter that the school district sent to the IDA dated January 4th, 2024. Here is the letter. I think it's very good. You should be able to get this from the IDA or the school district. If you can't, reach out to me. I've got it, obviously. I can send it to you. What I'm going to do, so what they did is they actually did a count of students in these six buildings. So I'm going to pull that. I'm going to pull a couple of quotes from this as well. I'm going to pull this and I'm going to put it into the multiplier format that I used in the last video so we can compare it and then see what the results are. This letter has to do with 115 McQuestion. Another one should be coming from the school district to the IDA regarding Qwest. So I showed you the buildings that they looked at. Here are the units and the students. So what I did, as I did with Ms. Storrs' analysis, is I just calculated what the multiplier is. All right, so that's the multiplier. I also, what I did down here is I took the average across these six buildings. So I totaled the number of units, the number of students in total across those units to come up with this multiplier. Interestingly, that multiplier 0.26 matches the National Association of Home Builders, the high-end estimate that I put in the last video. Ms. Storrs did not use that. Ms. Storrs used these 0.1 multipliers. And I questioned that video where she came up with that because it didn't make sense and it's far too low. Okay, so this is what it means. The estimated number of students from the Storrs Report for the two projects before the IDA, 32.4 in 315 units for McQuestion, 22 in 228 units for Qwest. And then these are the estimates you get that are actually reflective of our community, of the buildings that the school district studied in the city. You can see when you apply the multiplier across those buildings, you get these numbers. It's more than double. And as a result, there are far more students that will enter the schools if we are using the report from the school district. So what the school district estimated was conservative. They put a range of 75 to 80, and they went with 75. QS, we don't know. I'm guessing it'll probably be around 55. Still, these are more than twice the number of students than were estimated in the Storrs report done for the IDA. So from this, what I'm concluding is that the school district estimate seems far more reasonable. It takes into account what's actually going on in our city. The cost estimate in the Storrs report for 115 South McQueston, to use the phrase the school district's lawyer used, the estimate is grossly inaccurate. The lawyer went on to write this: the Mount Vernon Industrial Development Agency should seek to secure at least an additional $315,000 from the developer per year, which over the 30-year life of this project equates to about $9.4 million that the school district will be short in educating these students. And again, that's just for 115 McQueston. 3, the IDA is going to need to revise its economic analysis to account for these far more accurate estimates of students entering the school district. I want to end with, let's just watch maybe a minute or so of a video that the mayor just put out yesterday about the Mount Vernon Industrial Development Agency. So let's just watch a little bit of that.
The Mount Vernon Industrial Development Agency, which is an economic tool, which has economic tools to help businesses here in the city of Mount Vernon, we're able to offer state tax exemptions to businesses that are coming into the city of Mount Vernon to do business. We're also able to offer incentives through the city of Mount Vernon to do businesses. It allows us to provide fair incentives to foster economic development. We look forward to increasing economic development in the city of Mount Vernon, which takes the burdens off of the taxpayers and bring greater partnerships, workforce development, and revenue to the city of Mount Vernon.
Okay, so we heard the mayor say that the IDA is an economic tool that gives incentives to businesses. You heard her say businesses multiple times, not housing. She didn't say housing once. For economic development, workforce development, which is jobs, and these are housing developments. They're not businesses. They're not going to generate a lot of jobs. They'll generate some temporary jobs during construction, but they don't amount to much, and they're fleeting. And she said that they should the whole idea is to bring revenue to the city and take the burden off taxpayers. She also mentioned fair incentives. So I don't know how what we know of these two projects fits within what the mayor just said the Mount Vernon Industrial Development Agency is for. I just don't understand that. And so the question for me is, how do tax breaks given to for-profit, low-income housing developers accomplish the IDA goals as outlined by the mayor? That's really the basic question. It's very, very hard to understand. We've heard the mayor and the controller talk about the difficult financial circumstances we are in, about the importance of using data to inform decision making. And I hope that they are serious about that. My worry is that these projects will go forward despite the fact that they lack economic credibility. This is not to take away from the importance of having affordable housing in the state of New York. Mount Vernon has done, I think, a lot over the years to try and alleviate that problem. I think it would be good to see other communities step up and help out with that in the way that we have. Okay.